Hello friends, hope you all are doing great. Welcome back to VOWIAS. Welcome to the discussion on daily MCQ. Today is 20 July 2021 and now we are going to discuss 5 current affair based MCQs. तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं. First let us discuss the question that was asked on Saturday and the question was the famous Vishnu temple at AngkorWat in Cambodia was built by whom? A. Shrutavarman, B. Indravarman, C. Suryavarman II and D. Aniruddha. Yeah, here it's a small mistake. Yeah, and D Aniruddha. So you have to choose the correct answer. And some of you have given the correct answer as well. So on Saturday it was Vinay Tiwari and Abzur Qureshi who gave the correct answer. So if you see this famous AngkorWat temple, it was built by Suryavarman II. It was built by Suryavarman II. And this AngkorWat temple, if you see, it is located in Cambodia. It is located in Cambodia and it is one of the largest religious monuments in the world. It was originally constructed as a Hindu temple dedicated to Lord Vishnu for the Khmer Empire. It's a Khmer Empire, okay, and it was gradually transformed later into a Buddhist temple. So today it is a Buddhist temple, right? So this temple was originally built by Khmer king Suryavarman II in the early 12th century. In Yashodhapura. So earlier this AngkorWat is known as Yashodhapura, and it was the capital of the Khmer Empire. And this temple was a state temple at that point of time. Okay. So this is all the information about AngkorWat temple in Cambodia. Now let's move on. A small information, guys. Daily we are providing MCQs, 5 current affair based MCQs. Okay, so make the best use of this initiative so that you can gain an edge in the prelims examination. All these current affair based MCQs are directly based on the UPSC pattern, and these questions are prepared by experts who are highly experienced in the civil services examination. So make the best use of this. Okay, so all these questions and their solutions are uploaded in the PDF format in the Telegram channel, and in the description I have given the details of the Telegram channel. So do join and take a look at it. Okay. So the first question: the right against exploitation is guaranteed under which of the following articles of the Indian Constitution? First one, Article 23. Second one, Article 24, and third one, Article 17. So we have to choose the correct answer. So if you see, we have 6 fundamental rights. The first one is right to equality. Next one, right to freedom. Right against exploitation. Right to freedom of religion. The cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies. So these are the 6 fundamental rights that we have. So if you see right against exploitation, it is covered under Article 23 and 24. So A, 1 and 2 is the correct answer. 1 and 2 is the correct answer. So recently, the Trafficking in Persons Prevention, Care and Rehabilitation Bill of 2021, it is likely to be tabled in the upcoming monsoon session of the Parliament. So that's why this was in news, and we have asked this question. The Article 23, if you see, the Article 23 talks about prevention of human trafficking. Trafficking in human beings and the beggar and other similar forms of forced labor is prohibited under this article. And Article 23(2) says that nothing in this article shall prevent the state from imposing compulsory service for public purposes. So all these are given in Article 23. And Article 24 talks about the child labor. It prohibits the child labor, and we have the Child Labor Prevention and Prohibition Act also. Okay, so we have the Immoral Trafficking Act of 1956. It is a premier legislation for the prevention of trafficking at this moment, and now a new bill is going to be presented in the Parliament, okay, with more amendments, right? So this is about Article 23 and 24, which comes under the right against exploitation, right? Now let's move on to the next question. The second question: consider the following statements. First one, zero-click attack, one of the phishing method to gain control over a device without human interaction or error. Second one, such attacks are hard to detect and hence even harder to prevent. So we have to choose the correct answer. A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, both 1 and 2, and D, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is C, both 1 and 2, the zero-click attack. So it was in news recently. So the first one is right because the zero-click attack is a kind of phishing method. Phishing method means using a mail or something, okay, to install a link in a certain device so that the person who is on the other side will be able to gain access to this device. Okay, so this is a kind of attack, and in this attack there is no need of any human interaction or human error. and these attacks are very hard to detect and even hard to prevent. So recently the Indian Express reported that the popular messaging platform WhatsApp was used to spy on journalists and human rights activists in the country earlier this year. Okay, so that's why this was news, and all this was done using a spyware called Pegasus. So spyware is a kind of malware. Spyware means, as the name suggests, it means spying on the person whom they want. Okay, and these spywares do what the name suggests. They spy on the people through the phones, through the computers, etc. The Pegasus works by sending an exploit link, and if the target user clicks on that link, the malware or the code that allows the surveillance is installed upon the user's phone. So a zero-click attack helps the spyware like Pegasus to gain control over a device without human interaction. So zero-click attack means without any proper click also the attack will happen. And most of these attacks, they exploit the software which receive data even before it can determine whether what is coming in it is trustworthy or not, like an email client. And these zero-click attacks, they are very hard to detect given their nature, and hence they are even harder to prevent. Okay, so this is all about the spyware and the Pegasus. So let's move on to the third question. The Department of Fertilizers has made it compulsory for all the domestic producers to produce 100% urea as Neem-coated urea. What are the benefits of Neem-coated urea? First one, improvement in soil health. Second one, negligible diversion towards non-agricultural purposes. Third one, eliminated pest and disease attack. So we have to choose the correct answer. A 1 and 2, B 3 only, C 1 and 3, D 1, 2 and 3. So if you see this question, the Department of Fertilizers, they have made it compulsory that the domestic producers should produce 100% Neem-coated urea. This is because it has various advantages. So the first statement is right because it improves the soil health. Second one, negligible diversion towards the non-agricultural purposes. And third statement, if you see, it talks about elimination of pests and disease attacks. So the use of this Neem-coated urea will not eliminate these pests and diseases completely, but they will reduce to a certain extent, but certainly they will not eliminate completely. So this third statement is wrong, but the first two statements are right. So A 1 and 2 is the correct answer. I've told you already in the previous lecture, generally in UPSC, the extreme statements are wrong. The extreme statements. Go through the previous year papers, you will find this. The extreme statements, that means it will only happen. This does not happen. This never happened. These are extreme statements. So the pests and diseases are completely eliminated. So completely eliminated means it's an extreme statement. So no fertilizer or no chemical can completely eliminate pests and diseases. They can reduce to a certain extent. So this third statement is wrong, but 1 and 2 are right. So A 1 and 2 is the correct answer. So recently the Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizer have reviewed the initiatives of the Department of Fertilizer for making India Atmanirbhar in fertilizers, because generally we import a lot of urea from abroad. Okay, and the government is currently planning to liberalize the market development assistance policy to promote the use of alternate fertilizers. Alternate fertilizers, and there are a lot of benefits for this NCU, the Neem-coated urea. There are improvement in soil health because Neem is very good for the soil. The reduction in usage of plant protected chemicals because Neem does that work for the plants, and there is reduction of pest and diseases. There is reduction, as I told, but not complete elimination. An increase in yield for the paddy, sugarcane, maize, etc. Negligible diversion towards non-agricultural purposes. So one of the main criticism for the urea is that the urea is generally shifted, or you can say it is diverted towards the non-agricultural purposes also. The government gives subsidy for the urea so that the urea will be used for agricultural purposes, but it is observed that lot of urea is also used for non-agricultural purposes, so that this can be eliminated with the Neem-coated urea. And also due to slow release of nitrogen, the nitrogen use efficiency of Neem-coated urea increases, resulting in reduced consumption of Neem-coated urea as compared to normal urea, because normally the normal urea, the nitrogen use efficiency is limited. It is not to that great extent. So because of this, what is happening is that lot of urea, or you can say lot of nitrogen, this gets eroded, or you can say it will be carried on by the water, and this will enter into the water bodies, and this will also lead to eutrophication. Right? So the Neem-coated urea can be used to eliminate all of these things. Okay? Now let's move on to the fourth question. Consider the following statements with respect to the Convention on Biological Diversity, the CBD. First one, CBD is a legally binding treaty which is aimed at conservation of biological diversity and fair equitable sharing of the benefits arising out of the utilization of genetic resources. This is the first statement. Second statement says, the CBD Secretariat operates under the IUCN. So we have to choose the correct answer. A 1 only, B 2 only, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 nor 2. So here the correct answer is A 1 only, the Convention on Biological Diversity, because the CBD Secretariat does not operate under the IUCN. It's a separate one. Now we will see some more information about this CBD. So actually why this was in news is the UN Convention on Biological Diversity, the CBD, it has demanded an additional 200 billion funds for the developing countries for various sources to manage the nature through 2030. It is one of the demands and targets that have been set through 2030 in the official draft of the new Global Biodiversity Framework. This CBD convention is an important convention which was passed in 1993, and it had three main objectives, which is conservation of biological diversity, sustainable use of components of biological diversity, that means the genetic modifications and everything. Okay, and the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising out of the utilization of genetic resources. So that means these days we are doing a lot of research in this biotechnology. So the benefits arising out of this biotechnology has to be shared sustainably. Okay, and nearly all countries have ratified it. But if you see USA, it has signed but did not ratify. So remember this anomaly. USA has signed but did not ratify. And the CBD Secretariat is based in Montreal, Canada, and it operates under the UNEP. But in the question, it was given as, here you can see, IUCN. It is not under IUCN, but it is under UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. Okay. The parties under this convention of CBD, they meet at regular intervals, and these meetings are called Conference of Parties, the COP. In 2000, a supplement agreement to the convention known as Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety, it was adopted, and it came into force on 11 September 2003. So remember this Cartagena Protocol on the biodiversity. So you have various important conventions like the Basel Convention, the Rotterdam Convention, the Cartagena Protocol. So try to go through all of these things. They are important from the prelims point of view. Okay, and this protocol, the Cartagena Protocol basically seeks to protect the biological diversity from the potential risks that are increasing because of the living modified organisms. That means the genetic modified organisms. Okay, and India enacted the Biological Diversity Act of 2002 to give effect to the provisions of the CBD, that is the Convention for Biological Diversity. Right? Now let's move on to the next question. The fifth question. In the context of ecosystem productivity, the marine upwelling zones are important as they increase the marine productivity by bringing the first one, decomposer microorganism to surface, second one, nutrient to the surface, third one, bottom dwelling organisms to the surface. So it's a UPSC 2011 question. So we have to choose the correct answer. A 1 and 2, B 2 only, C 2 and 3, and D 3 only. So upwelling is a unique characteristic of the oceans. So upwelling generally means the nutrients generally are carried on to the top. Nutrients are only carried on, but not the decomposer microorganisms nor the bottom dwelling organisms. Only the nutrients are being carried on. So B 2 only is the correct answer. Okay. So upwelling leads to algal bloom. So normally you will be reading a lot of these things in environment. Algal bloom means the algae, okay, that will increase, and this algae will increase on the top of the water because of this upwelling only. Upwelling means from the bottom the nutrients are being brought to the top, and these algae, it will feed on these nutrients, and this nutrient rich water, okay, so it is on this nutrient rich water the algae will grow, okay, and these organisms would remain where they are because they are getting the nutrients, right? So now let's look at the question of the day. And the question of the day is, which one of the following countries has the longest international border with India? A. China, B. Pakistan, it is C. Myanmar, and D. Bangladesh. Sorry guys, a small mistake. C. Myanmar and D. Bangladesh. So you have to choose the correct answer, right? And on tomorrow we are going to discuss this question. Okay? So, and guys, before I leave, just a small information. We have launched the Prelims Test Series Summary, Vision Monthly Magazine, Vision Mains Test Series Summary, and Vision PT 365 Summary as well. So do make the best use of these initiatives so that you can enhance your score in the upcoming prelims examination. Because to increase the score, to enhance the score, the revision is very key. So everyone keeps on talking about revision, but how to do the best revision? The best revision can be done with the minimum papers and reading it multiple times. and for this only we have launched this unique initiative, so make the best use of this. Okay, so you can find all the details in the Telegram channel, and the Telegram channel details are there in the description. So that's it guys for the day. I'll see you again tomorrow with 5 more MCQs. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. Jai Hind.